I think it's called getting the ick.
This is too much, I can't deal with it.
This is Salt's YouTube. I'm Lauren Windle. This is Nneka, and we are talking about how to lose a guy or girl in 10 dates. And I think we've got a new word for it, and I think it's called getting the ick. And sometimes there's set stuff that everyone knows will give you the ick.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very specific to you. Is there anything that's given you the ick? Anything you've been on like a first date and you've been like, this was like okay, but then he did that and I just can't believe how unsexy I find him now.
I think there's been stuff that has given me the ick, and then stuff that my girlfriends have told me they've been on dates and then he did this and I have the ick and I'm done. So some of it wasn't me, but it gave me the ick through them. So I vicariously got the ick. So
you had secondhand ick.
It was horrible.
Okay, I hear you. I've got a friend who's terrified of the ick because he's like, it tends to be women who get the ick, not men.
Yeah, because that's just because men are just sloppy and they just don't care. But for women, it's like, this is too much, I can't deal with it.
Okay, so it's funny that you'd say about farting, because I put a shout on my Instagram and I was like, tell me, what is the thing, get my phone out, that put you off people on a date?
Okay.
And I've got 10 things. Right there. It's not the most popular one. I'll tell you what the most popular one is later.
I'm so scared.
Number 5 on my list was farting.
Okay.
So, and I get that. No one wants that.
Yeah.
It is a natural thing. I think once you're into a relationship, it's silly to like never fart in front of your partner, whatever, you know. You've got to get past that barrier at some point. First date's not the time to jump past that barrier.
I mean, sometimes, what if you have nervous farts though? There are those people that have nervous farts.
Go to the bathroom or walk to the other side of the shop. Also, you can cough to cover the sound, but if there's a smell, and then it's that moment where it's like, are you going to be like, what's that smell, and pretend it wasn't you? Number 1 thing is someone who's rude to the waiter.
Oh my gosh, yes. That.
Even that waiter, ultimately, I could have ordered chicken and they could bring me, you know, just lentil dal, and I'll just eat it and pretend like it's what I ordered.
No, I don't do that. That's too much.
No. On the date, on a first date, I'm not sending anything back ever. Nope.
You just have to be courteous. Why on earth are you going to be rude? If they brought you the wrong food, oh sorry, excuse me, this isn't what I ordered, or it's too cold, or there's something in it, or whatever.
So I'd never do that. No, I'll pick the hair out and just brush it somewhere.
Oh my gosh, no.
No, I can't. You can't, because no one looks good when you send back food.
That's not my business. Why are they bringing hairs from the kitchen to me? I didn't order hair. But if I was rude, then I get why he would be like, no, she's giving me the ick or whatever. But if he's rude, then I would get why I got the ick.
Okay, next one. Not asking me any questions.
Oh, that actually confuses me more than gives me the ick, because I just think, why are we sitting here?
Yeah. So many times I've said this to my friends, and my male friends are like, oh, but sometimes blokes just freak out and they don't think it through and they're like a bit panicked. So they forget to ask. That's not going to fly with me.
Unless the date is like 2 minutes long, then you forget to ask, and I say, okay, if we've been here for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, relax, sit down, we're eating, we're having a drink or whatever.
Oh my gosh, I've got this story for you, right? Talking of like really fit people who just don't know how to have a conversation. My sister, years ago, back when she was like teenager, still school days, she was on a date with this guy and everyone knew he was really good looking. And I remember just laughing so much because she was like, I'm gonna have to break up with him. And I was like, why? And she was like, we were sitting there, he didn't ask me a single question. I was talking about some of my like coursework I was doing, and behind me was a mirror, and he just goes, yeah. Do you think it's better hat on or hat off? And then he was like, I'll do it again one more time. So hat on or hat off? And she was like, I don't know if this is gonna work.
Okay. Which one do you like better?
I think I like the white shirt better.
Being overtly sexual or asking really sexual questions.
That's like top 2 ick for me.
That's so...
Maybe not even 2, maybe 1.
It is disrespectful.
So cringe.
Particularly, there are some dates, right, where you're getting quite flirty and you're almost like you're on the cusp of that kind of chat. I've been on dates where I have brought none of that energy and they've been like, so when was the last time you had sex? And I'm like, I met you on a Christian dating site. I'm not looking for that to be the direction this goes in.
That gives me like ultimate ick.
Yeah.
Because like I said with the conversation bit, it's like that's their default when they don't have any conversation. It's like no conversation or let's talk about sex.
Yeah.
What? How did it's just, oh my gosh, it's horrible. It's so horrible.
It makes me feel so uncomfortable. If it's completely unprompted, I'm not giving you...
Well, it always is. Let's be honest, it always is.
Picking their nose.
I've never seen that. Oh my gosh, I've never seen that.
Talking about bowel movements.
Whoa.
If you're loving this, hit like and subscribe. Okay, next one, talking about their ex.
Oh my gosh, why would you do that?
Don't want to know that you came here with Judith.
But this is the question, how did you even get there? Why is your ex relevant to this?
That's happened to me so many times. Oh, my ex never liked it when I used to do that.
So why is
I
he
really
mean?
like that you do this because my ex never used to do that. Oh, because actually when we broke up, or it was really hard, or oh no, that dog in the picture, that was my ex. Tell you what, probably my biggest red flag is if they're like, oh, because my ex was crazy.
Oh my gosh, every time a guy says his ex was crazy, he was crazy. He's the crazy one and he drove her to insanity. Men just give me the ick, man. I just can't. They just give me the ick.
Okay, next one, eat with their mouth open.
Oh, that's just basic.
I think I'm a bit of a messy eater.
But
I think I
what's
am.
messy? Like you eat and food is like flying out of your mouth.
Okay, no. I close my mouth when I'm eating, but I have been known to be told by a date that I've got a bit of food on my face.
I mean, okay, but a little bit of sauce isn't that bad, I don't think. But I mean, it shouldn't be everywhere. It shouldn't be everywhere.
No, just a smudge here, a little bit on my chin.
The chin is too much. The chin is too much.
Be late, and actually being late I don't think is super big deal, but not apologising.
Yes, that is the
Turning up.
problem.
Like,
Yeah, but I'm here.
Yeah.
No, it's not but I'm here.
okay, last one, asking weird questions. I've actually got an example of this because I was chatting to a mate about it and she was like, there is some really, like someone asked me a really weird question and I was like, okay, I'll put it on the list. What was the question? She was like, he asked me who my friends were and they didn't have any mutual friends. So she was like, well, what do you mean? And he was like, well, who are they? So she just listed like, well, Claire, Sarah, John, and like listed like 6 people and he was like, oh, cool. And she was like, surely he hadn't thought that question through.
Yeah.
What added value?
No, it's given serial killer. It's given, because why do you need to know that?
So yeah, that was obviously his thing for like, you know, trying to get to know her. But she was like, that was when I knew. That was my moment where I was like, I don't know if we're vibing. I've got a theory, let me run this by you. Okay. Because I think we can both agree that this stuff will really put you off on a first date. But when you like someone and when you know them and you've got more information about them, this stuff becomes less important.
Yeah.
And actually, if you like someone, really like them,
Kind of just like,
oh my gosh, they can get away with so much. And you're just like, oh, he's so funny. He told a poo joke. Oh my gosh, it's so funny when he farts when we're in a restaurant. I just love it when he does this. When actually, if he did it on the first date, you'd be like,
disgusted with you.
okay, so here's my analogy, right? Let's say every person is a pile of beans. I'm going somewhere. Okay. You go on a first date and you hand someone like 3 beans on your first date. And they're like, okay, I like these beans. But if one of those 3 beans is bad, if they learn 3 things about you and one of them is like, or that they fart on dates, what they know of you is that like 1/3 of all of you is icky, right? Whereas if you're date 10 and you've already given them like 50 beans, they've already pieced together loads of bits of information about you, they're building a picture of who you are, and they like all of those beans, and then a bad one slips in, it's like you're only like 2% icky.
Yeah.
So it's fine. So actually, I think that it's okay to do ick-inducing things if that's who you are. If you get sauce on your chin, that's who you are. But I think you unleash it when they've got more of your beans. So it's diluted.
Yeah, I think so. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Do you know what I saw recently on the internet? Sometimes I feel like when you're in a relationship and you get to that stage of like 50 beans or so.
Sure, yeah.
And then maybe the one icky bean slips in and you're just like, do you know what? It doesn't matter. I still love you. Yeah. That is true. I saw this video of this girl and she was like on a date with her boyfriend at a restaurant. And then she was like that he had never had I think it was like hot chocolate and marshmallows or something.
Okay.
And so she's recording him and he's like drinking the hot chocolate with the spoon and he's chewing, but he's like chewing the hot chocolate. And it's so weird. And like the hot chocolate is like all over his chin.
Has he had hot drinks before?
I don't understand. The video is so confusing. And so like he's doing this and he's chewing the hot chocolate and it just looks so... It gave me the ick and I don't even know him, but this is her boyfriend. And so she's just like recording him and she's like, oh my gosh, like, oh yeah, he's never had this and I love him and he's having so much fun and I'm so happy for him. But we're all watching the video and everyone on the internet is just like, sorry, he's chewing on hot chocolate and his face is messy and he's a grown man like that. And I was just like, do you not hate, like, it's like you hate your boyfriend. Yeah. Why on earth would you record this and then share it with the internet? Did you see him in the video?
So obviously she'd seen a lot of beans she liked and then the hot chocolate bean. In fact, it sounds like the hot chocolate bean, further from being like a bad bean, she actually saw it. She was so confused. She saw it as a good bean in amongst...
Yeah,
madness. That's love. There are beans.
Yeah, beans.
That's how you eat beans. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, don't forget to like and subscribe for more from Soul.